Traders, parents, moms, dads, baby trading kids. Welcome to all of you guys. Welcome. Welcome to another live session with Oliver Velez. Of course, you all should know my name is Oliver Velez. And today I have a special session that is very dear to my heart, people. Most of you who have followed my work in the trading world, you understand how passionate I am about teaching everyone who has interest in what makes the world go around, money, teaching everyone how to interpret markets and use markets for a level of financial freedom. But I'm exceptionally passionate about passing this unique and very powerful skill onto our children. All right. And this is what I do once a year. Once a year, I touch on how important teaching our children about money, how important that is, teaching our children that money makes the world go around, that it's not bad as some beliefs have suggested, that markets make the world go around, and that their ability to navigate markets with some skill is one of the keys to future freedom in their lives. All right, so we're going to talk about this. I only do this once a year. I open the doors to my Trading Kids program for kids primarily once a year because the program is a full 1 year program, which we'll talk about. But this is very dear to my heart. It's what is grossly needed in the world today. We need more of our children educated about money, about finances, and we need them to be totally independent. We'll talk about these things, all right? So, what I'd like you to do, if you are a parent here with some interest, or you're an uncle or an aunt or what have you, and you have children between the ages of 10 and 15 years old, right, who might benefit from learning how to trade the markets for a living, then I want you to take notes here today. I want you to pay very close attention. All right? All right, guys, good. And I'm glad to see that I have some of my Trading Kids parents here, some of which have had their children in the Trading Kids program for years. I'm sure they can tell you right here that it's one of the best decisions that they've made for the education of their child. All right, this is not what we're getting in universities. It's not what we're getting in grade school. It's not what we're getting in high school for our children, and it's literally the most important thing. All right, so why don't I do this? I am going to start our presentation here. All right. Summer trading camp for kids. Now, guys, our modern education has failed our children. Have you ever wondered, listen to me carefully. Have you ever asked yourself, why weren't you taught about money in school? Have you ever asked yourself? It is a travesty that money is not taught in school, that finance is not taught in school, that learning what money is, where it comes from, is not taught to us in school. We're not taught to ask questions about money. We're not taught to ask what money is, where it comes from, who's in control of it. And these are the very things that are this is not by mistake that we're not taught these things. It is actually on purpose to keep the masses, for the most part, ignorant about actually what money is. So modern education has failed our children in a very, very big way. Now, modern education is the reason that this is the case is because it's designed to create workers for the elite class. What's the elite class today? Well, the elite class used to be lords, it used to be kings and queens, and it used to be, you know, controllers of regions. But we have a fancy name for the elite today, and it's what people in the United States call corporate America. All right? It's institutions. Institutions, the elite hides behind the structure called a corporation, an entity. All right? And what the educational system is designed to do is to create a whole bunch of worker bees, little worker bees that don't ask questions. Their education is designed to create followers. You're told what the answers should be. You're told to not question much. You're told to get straight A's or straight A's and B's in very structured programs that do not encourage exploration. The educational system is designed for our children to just get a job, not be a leader, not be a thinker, not be a questioner, not be an inventor, not even be an entrepreneur. The educational system is specifically designed to create followers, workers, employees. And if you think about it, people, if you think about this, the educational system is actually largely supported by whom? By corporations. They're the ones that donate the most to the endowments of universities and private schools all over the United States and all over the world for that matter. All right? The biggest donors are the farms that need workers working for them. And they support this educational system that's designed to put out workers. I don't want questioners. I don't want independents. I want followers. All right? It's also designed to create, it's also designed to keep the masses, people, in debt. It is a debt-based slave system that will guarantee that you work forever, for the most part, until you die. That you work for the system until you die. And one of the best ways to do this, guys, one of the best ways to ensure that you work on this slave plantation for someone else's dream, right? There's no better way to guarantee that than to actually trick you into getting into lifetime debt. And so how do we do this? The system has taught us that a 30-year mortgage on your house is a good thing. That being in debt 30 plus years and having to pay someone else for 30 years for the roof that you have over top of your head, that's a good thing. All right? That having credit cards and payments, this is a debt-based slave system that will have the masses running on a hamster wheel faster by 7 to 12% faster every single year, never, ever making progress, never, ever getting ahead, but the wheel will speed up 7 to 12% faster every single year. That is the debt-based, inflation-induced slave system. And the system needs new slaves, new worker bees, new people coming out of the educational system that has been taught that debt is good, that has been taught that my goal is to get a job and work for this plantation, this institution, this company, this organization, this entity. All of those are fancy words for modern day slave plantations. And that I should be in debt, that debt is good. I need to learn about debt, how to use debt properly so that I pay someone else for the rest of my life, and that independence is not good. That knowing how to generate my own livelihood without the need to work for someone else's dream, someone else's thing, is not good. That I should be looking to get a job. This is the modern day education, and how the modern day educational system has failed our children. The money is almost never really talked about to our children. Yet money makes the world go around. The first travesty is that our kids are not taught money. They're not taught what money is. The second travesty is that most parents can't even answer that question for their own children. What money is? Where does it come from? What actually is it? And let's delve into that just a little bit. In essence, guys, it's important to understand this. It's important that our children understand this. That money, in its purest sense, is simply time. That is what money is. It's stored time. Now, let's talk about this just for a few minutes here. When you give 40 hours a week to a company, 40 hours a week, you give your time, your energy, your knowledge, your skill, your know-how, your attention. You give everything that you are to someone else, to another company, another cause, somebody else's dream. You give your time, and infused in that time is everything you know, everything that you are, everything that you think, everything that you believe, all of your skill, all of your capability, all of your ability. Your time is you. So you give 40 hours of you to someone else, and in exchange for your time, you get back money. This money represents your very life. It represents who you are. You gave your life to someone else for this money, and you got a symbol called money that represents the very life you gave away to someone else. And it is incredible to me that there are some people who will teach their kids that money is the root of all evil, when in fact, money is you. Money is your time. Money is your energy. Money is your skill. Money is your life. It represents your stored time, the time you gave to something else, whether it be a company, a person, your own business, your customers, your clients. You gave up something, you gave up your life, and in exchange for that, you got this symbol that represents the life that you gave to something else or someone else. All right? So it is your time, it is literally time stored. and a symbol. That is what money is. Now, get this. When we talk about slavery, right? We usually think about the old form of slavery. Now, what is the old form of slavery? Well, what is an old version of a slave? A slave in the old version is an individual who has no control over their time, that 100% of their time on planet Earth belongs to someone else. Not only is in the old form of slavery, 100% of the time, 100% of your time is not yours. 100% of your time is in the control of another man. That's the old form of slavery. And also, guys, all the fruits of the labor from that time belongs to another man. So not only does your time not belong to you in the old slave system, not only does your time on earth, you don't own your time on earth, that is owned by another man. Not only is your time not yours, but anything that time produces is not yours either. That is a 100% slave. And that's what we typically think about when we think about slavery. That form of slavery could only be applied to a small segment of human beings. You can't have a 100% style slavery across planet Earth. So that form of slavery was always in pockets historically, right? It was, okay, this color people are going to be the slaves, or this class of people are going to be the slaves. But it could never, you can't blanket the earth with 100% style slavery. But the slave system got slicker. The slave system got smarter by lowering the 100% to 40 to 60%. Now you can take that form of slavery and you can apply that across the entire globe. The 100%, you cannot do that. But if you bring 100% slavery down to about 40%, and you apply the 40% version of slavery, you can spread that across the entire planet Earth, and you can enslave the entire world with that. And that's the slave system we live in today. 100% of your time is no longer asked for, but 40% of it is, and in some cases, 60% of it is. Most people are working until July 1st. They're working the first 6 months to pay the landowner, to pay the tax man. And it is only after July that the money that they make is actually theirs. Most people's tax is 40 to 60% of what they make. So out of one full year, we're talking June through July. January through June, July is not yours. That time belongs to someone else. That time does not belong to you. And the fruits of the labor of that time doesn't belong to you either. Now, they can't apply 100% anymore. But you are living in a 40 to 60% slave-based system. It's slicker today. It's slyer. And this is what I never wanted my children subject to. This is what I don't want your children subject to. This is what we have to teach our children to break through independence. It's the only way. It can be broken through independence, breaking the reliance on this system. that says, work for me until the end of July, and then the rest of the months are yours throughout the year. That's insane. But we got an answer. We got an answer. Crazy. So 40% of your time to 60%, depending upon where you live in the world, right? 40 to 60% is the slave system today. And this is applied to virtually every single human being on earth. It's wild when you think about it. So trading, guys, is one of the ways through which we can free ourselves from this. I am not saying it's the only way. It's the only way that I did it. It's the only way that I know. And it's a way that I believe that if we start our children on this path early enough in life, when it is easier for them to get it, when it is slightly more guaranteed that they get it than starting when you're an adult, that I think that many more of our children can break this slave cycle. Trading teaches life, and it also gives you back your time. I've been trading, guys, look, I've been trading financial markets for 43 years, okay? And 37 years professionally. And one of the beautiful things that I discovered very early in my trading journey is that the very tenets that make for a successful trader, they're the same things that make for a successful anything. The things that you need to do and the things that you need to become to be a good trader are the very same things you need to do to become a good human being, to become a good man, woman, employer, worker, anything. And so it dawned on me that trading teaches you life, that it is impossible to get better at trading and not become a better father. It is impossible to become a better trader and not become a better man. It's impossible to become a better trader and not become a better entrepreneur or a better anything. And the reason is because in order to become a good trader, you must first become good yourself. Trading is about you becoming more disciplined and then taking that more disciplined you into the market. Trading is about becoming more responsible and then taking that responsible you into the market. It's about becoming more independent and taking this new, better, more independent you into the market. Most people lose sight of the fact that trading is about mastering you first and then taking this mastered you into the market. You can't take the you that you are now into the market. That's not going to work. You can't take the same undisciplined individual who lacks responsibility, who can't keep his own word to himself. You can't take that individual, have that individual stay the same, and go into the market and say, now this individual should be able to bring me back money. No, you've got to change who you are. This is why trading in so many respects is a very spiritual process, because any activity that leads you to look inward at yourself, any activity that's specifically designed for you to get better, for you to become a more disciplined human being, any activity that's designed for you to become more responsible. Any activity that's designed for you, to become more independent, to become freer, to become a good risk assessor, to become an individual who's able to sum up probabilities in life, that knows when to profit and when not to profit. These are all life skills. It is impossible, people, to become more disciplined in trading and not have that discipline, that extra discipline that you developed in your trading. It is impossible to not have that discipline spill over into every other corner of your life. It's not like, all right, it's not as if discipline says, wait a minute, I'm only going to be with you until you finish trading. Once you finish trading, I don't work for you anymore. Discipline doesn't do that, right? If you become more disciplined in your trading, you stop trading, your discipline is still working. And that discipline that extra discipline that you developed through the activity of trading will spill over into your relationships, into your other activities, into your other functions, into your other responsibilities. It's impossible to become a more disciplined trader and not become a more disciplined mother, more disciplined father, man, woman, child, anything. And so it's so very connected to life. The qualities that make for a successful trader are the same qualities that make for a successful anything. You have to become an individual who keeps his own word in trading. This is something we should teach our children. Your word is your bond. Your word is the thing of value that you should never allow someone to take from you. It is your honor. And if you can't keep your word, your own word, to your own self, how can you keep your word to your brother, your mother, your father, your children, your friends, your neighbors, your God? You can't. There is no individual who can't keep their own word to themselves. That same individual can't keep words to anyone or anything in their lives. And let me give an example of this. In trading, you have to set your own rules, your own word. I will not lose more than $50 on any given trade. That is your word. You have given your word. I will not lose more than $50 on any given trade. Now you're to go out into the market and make that word of yours true. But your word is your bond. And not a single trade should ever tick negative by more than $50, ever, if that is your word. If you can do that, if we can teach our children just that, now, son, daughter, you're going to do 5 trades today, right? And none of them, we don't even care if they're winning trades, just make sure none of them ever gets negative by more than $50. You kill every trade before it hits negative 50. If we can just teach our children how to do that, they will have a future that's almost unimaginable. Just that is enough. Just that. Because just by basic math, they're going to pick things that go up $200, $500, $1,000, $300, but they will cut everything that goes down on them before it hits negative 50. Just that will create a level of power, independence in your child, consciousness, financial, money-based consciousness, an unshakable word, unshakable in their freaking resolve. It teaches these disciplines and these fiscal responsibility. No excuses, mom, dad. I cannot let this trade tick below negative $50. Teaches independence, and this will lead to freedom. Their ability to assess what are the odds of something. Do you understand how valuable that skill is in life? That when our children learn how to look at three options for something and say, this one has higher probabilities of success than this one because of this, and that. That the best option is B, not C or A. Do you know how valuable that life skill is? Do you know how many human beings on earth do not have probability? They don't know how to assess probability in anything. Their choices are almost always wrong because of this lack of ability. Trading will teach your children how to assess and say, this trade here has high odds because it is in this location. This event is occurring at this particular time, and there is nothing obstructing it like the other two options that I have here. This is the one with the higher odds. This is the one with the higher probability. That is a life skill that they will take in every other area of their lives. They will know when to cut something that's not working, when to kill a trade. Do you know what learning when to kill a trade, do you know what life skill that is? When to cut something loose in your life that is no longer belongs in your life. Do you know how many people stay in bad relationships that they shouldn't be in that relationship anymore? It's destructive. It may even be violent, and they stay. The inability to cut the losing trade, the losing relationship, the losing business deal, or whatever, that losing friendship that's toxic now. The ability to be able to assess, this no longer belongs in my life. I will not allow this in my life. I'm cutting the trade. That trading teaches you that skill. Trading teaches our kids that skill, when to cut, and without any remorse. It's whatever's not functioning in your life. There should be no remorse behind cutting that out like a cancer. Trading teaches our children this. Trading teaches our children that it's not all work and no enjoyment in life either. Profit taking. Teaching a kid when to take profits, when to stop and smell the roses a little bit, when to taste, when to enjoy. Profit-taking skill in the market teaches you that yes, along the way, there should be profits. Along the way, there should be gains. There should be tasting. There should be enjoying. All of these things are the things that make for our children becoming talented traders, but also very powerful human beings in life. Independent, free. A person who can keep their word is extraordinarily rare today. A person that is disciplined, very, very rare today. Responsible, especially fiscally responsible, very rare today. A person who can look at options and say, not that one, but this one. It's very powerful. This is not just about teaching our kids how to buy something for $1 and sell it for $2. This is about teaching them how to be powerful, independent, disciplined, free human beings with an activity, guys, with an activity that requires no other human being. This is what I loved about trading. That I was in an activity that I did not have to rely on another human being for my sustenance. I did not have to rely or depend on another man for my livelihood. Yes, I was in an activity where I couldn't blame anyone but myself for my failure. I liked that. I wanted that. And this activity is the last bastion of total independence in the world today. Because what other activity offers that? That it's just you and you alone. And that this activity can give you a level of independence and freedom that most people can't even imagine or fathom, because it almost doesn't exist. Almost everything. A doctor needs his patients, lawyers need their clients, brain surgeons need people that have brain problems. Traders need no one. It's powerful. Why shouldn't we take our 10-year-olds, our 10-year-olds, our 11-year-olds, our 12-year-olds, our 13-year-olds, and start them on this journey? You imagine where, if they stay at it, where they will be at the age of 21? You imagine this? The ability to take 20 minutes out of their day and potentially earn more than some people earn in a month, a year. It's powerful. We give them that gift at the age of 21. It's a very powerful thing. So the other thing that I think is important to understand is that the reason why I'm so passionate about the children getting involved in trading between the ages of 10 and 15 is because they're better. Guys, they just trade better than you. Your kids are better. Every single one of them. They're just better. They're better traders. And there are specific reasons why they're better traders. They get it faster than you. And here are some of the reasons, right? They don't overcomplicate things. Like I get this all the time from my adult traders. Yeah, but Oliver, and a kid is not a butter. But Oliver, no, only adults do that. Yeah, but Oliver, what about the planet? I know you said this is a buy event, but what about the planetary alignment of Saturn right now? And the wind is blowing about this speed from east to west, right? They don't do that. They're like, okay, buy event, this location, boom. They don't overcomplicate things. And they're like, yes, but Oliver, but why? That's more of an adult thing, you know? But can you tell me exactly the formula? They don't do that. They don't overcomplicate things. And because of that, they're uninhibited. They're devoid of fear, all right? They're devoid of fear because they don't have a whole bunch of things racing through their mind. They see things clearly without complication, and it's just see, do, without see, but, none of that. They don't overcomplicate. The other thing is that this is like trading to a 10, 11, 12. It's like a video game. Like they approach trading just like they approach their video, and it is a video game. It's digital, it's on a screen. There's winning and there's losing, just like in a video game. You win the game or you don't. You get shot up in your video game. And when, like for instance, when adults get a losing trade, my God, it's like the end of the freaking world. They want to go back to the drawing board. What happened? I lost money on this trade, and they want to go back to the drawing board, and they're mapping things out again. Da 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 da. And the kid's like with a video game. Oh, okay, I lost. What do they do when they lose in a video game? It's like restart, and they're off to the next game. They don't carry, right? They don't carry the residue of losses into the new experience. They don't infect the next trade with the memory or the pain experienced from the last one. Every trade is fresher than your next trade after a losing trade. They approach it like a video game. It's like, okay, let's play another game. No big deal. Let's play another game. So they don't overcomplicate. They don't feel like it's the end of the world if they lost a trade. All right, I lost a trade. Let's go to the next one. Right? And also guys, it's not when they're that age, right? It's not really about money yet. Now, they know that, oh wow, I won on this trade and I won $350. All right, so they know that. But it's more of the symbol, it's more of the idea that they won the game. So they're just not emotionally tied to the dollars yet. That comes later in life. But 10, 11, 12, it's not really that much. I mean, they understand the money, but it's really just more about winning than it is the money. And that's extraordinarily liberating. If I could, with you, get you to stop focusing on the money, you'd be instantly a better trader. All right? It's more about, did I do the right thing than how much money did I make? They just want to do the right thing and cause a win by doing the right thing. And it's the winning. It's the doing the right thing that has more value than some digit on a screen that says, okay, this is your money. And that's pure. That's purer in our children at that age. And these are some of the reasons that they just progress in trading faster and better. And they become better traders than most children will become a more superior trader than any person who started as an adult. They're also just psychologically free, right? They haven't had enough negative experiences in their life to infect the way they approach things. All right? They haven't built up this big giant memory bank of all the times that they failed, which can cause psychological damage that affects everything else you try in life going forward. That it might not be conscious, but you have racked up this reservoir of negative memories that subconsciously is whispering, you're just going to fail again. And they just haven't lived on planet Earth long enough at that age to have that big giant memory bank gnawing at them. So they're psychologically freer than we are at that age. And this is why our kids, they can pick up languages like this. They can pick up new things like this because of all of these things. They don't overcomplicate. Everything's like a video game. They don't get tied up in knots just because they experience it didn't work this time. They're not completely obsessed with money yet. It's about doing the right thing, which is more important than the money. And they don't have any psychological hangups yet. And these are the reasons why our kids have a better chance at this most amazing activity. To give them just the chance to just in 20 minutes make $500. Like, that is empowering. $1,000, $300 in minutes, in 20 minutes, in 10 minutes. It's empowering. But we want them to get to a place where that becomes normal. It is something that they can pull off at will and at whim every single day of their lives. And this will give them a level of freedom in life that most human beings on planet Earth can only dream of. And maybe most of them can't even dream of it. They can't even imagine that level of freedom that is not reliant on another human being, that it's just them and the market. And I will even take care of the capital if that is what's needed. So it's very, very powerful, guys. Very powerful. All right. Now, I do want to quickly, we start our kids off learning about the twos, right? And I want to just quickly go over this so I can show you how I'm going to end on showing you how some of the trades buy out my trading kids, but based on these concepts. So let me give you quickly these concepts. It's called the power of twos, right? So in a sense, right, there's only two colors in the market. There's green, right? And there is red, right? Two colors, green and red. There's two moving averages that we teach our traders to focus on. The 20-period moving average, we teach them how to use this, and the 200-period moving average. So see, two colors, two moving averages. Then we teach them this concept of state, right? So we teach them a concept of state, where markets vacillate between a narrow state and a wide state. All right? This is the narrow state of a market and the wide state of a market. So if we go back, so there's two main states, narrow and wide. Two moving averages, 20 and 200. Two colors, green and red. We're teaching them the power of twos. Now, what's a narrow state with the 20 and the 200? Well, this is narrow, and this would be wide when your 20 leaves the 200, and that would be wide, right? Makes sense, right? Okay. So two types of bars, red and green, two moving averages, 20, 200, two states, narrow, wide. We teach them that their best trades are going to come from wide or narrow. All right? Their best trades are going to come from wide or narrow. Okay? Now, we teach them two major positions based on the state. We teach them, all right, above and below. Let me do this for you. So, if this is my state, let's say that's narrow state, I can be above the narrow state or I can be below the narrow state. So if you think about this, we got two bars, red and green and red. We have two moving averages, 20 and 200. We have two states, narrow and wide. We have two positions, above and below. All right? So let's go over this. What if you get, okay, a green bar in a narrow state above a narrow state, like that? What are the odds? So think about it. Here is the narrow state. Let's draw it again. Here's the narrow state. That's the 20-period moving average. Here's the 200-period moving average, right? So let's just say 200, 20. Green bar above the narrow state. Now we would teach the children, our trading kids, what's the highest probability in terms of direction right above a narrow state with a green bar? The probability is much higher this way than this way. It's not impossible for it to go down, but it's higher probability going up. If you have this instead, red bar under the narrow state, you have higher probability of declining. It's not impossible for it to go up, but the probability, at the end of the day, a good trader just knows what will happen 7, 8 times out of every 10, and this is what will happen. And it just becomes a probability game, a mathematical game. Every time I do this 10 times, I win 7, 8 times, I lose 1 to 3 times. And it's the power of twos. This is not complex stuff, guys. But it's taught where every 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old kid can understand these things. All right, because I got two bars. There's two moving averages. When the two moving averages are close, there's two states, narrow and wide. When the two moving averages are close, I'm in a narrow state. When the two moving averages are wide apart, I'm in a wide state. My best trades are going to come from wide or narrow. And then I got to determine which color do I have above the state or below the state. Boom. Now we just wrap money management and profit-taking rules to the game. Money management, protection, just in case it doesn't work. And we go over some profit-taking rules when you taste some of the games. And that's how they start their entire trading career at becoming what I always consider a master, the 20-minute trading master, where you need 20 minutes, you need maximum 20 minutes to make your living in this game. Doesn't take all day. You can do it all day if you love it like that, but you don't need to. All right? And all it takes is the power of twos, guys. The power of twos. Now, if your kids do this from any of the ages 10 to 15, if they do this until they're 21, they stay with it. My OMG. They are going to rule. There will be no other child in their university or wherever they are that will have their capability, that will have their independence, that will have their income producing ability that will make them free. There will be very few people in their lives they come in contact with that ability. It's very powerful to think, very powerful, very powerful. Now, they will rule by the time they're 21. That's the goal, right? Now, let's go into now that I've covered the twos that we teach them, right? The power of the twos. I want to show you these are the trades from my trading kids, guys. Look at how they're applying the power of twos. Check this out. All right. This is a little special one, but this guy here, this little fella, I had a quick $123 on this trade. Not bad for whatever age he is, but I want to show you some specific things. Like, take a look at this trade from one of the kids. All right, a $276 gain on this. But look at this is what some adults in some country work a week for, right? But they did it in minutes, right? But take a look at, ignore the green moving average for now. I want you to look at the blue and the red, and you tell me, notice how it's wide here, but here it's narrow or narrower, right? So we've got a narrow state here. Look at where the trade is taken. Boom. So they enter right there. They take a little taste. That's profit taking, the blue. Then they re-enter or add to the position here. This is a little early. This is a little early. I think the profit taking should have been down here, but they're tasting a little bit more here, and they're out of the trade entirely there. That is masterful trading. It's not exactly perfect. The only thing that I would have liked to see is this not taken so fast, but this is, if I could get adults doing this, boom, in, let's say they did 2 lots in, 1 lot out, put the 1 lot back on here. All right, 2 lots out, and then the final one out here. That is milking the cow like a freaking pro. That's crazy. Now, take a look at this trade in Starbucks. We also teach our children how to journal their trades. We want them journaling, guys. I learned this very young, that something magical happens When you take something from the ethereal world of thought and you give it physical reality by transferring it on a piece of paper or a screen or whatever, and it now gains a physical life of its own and it looks back at you. There's something magical about that. We make sure that the kids are journaling their activity because the journaler is always smarter than the trader. And so I want them to have these two experiences. I want them to have the experience of doing the trade, but then having the secondary experience of looking at that trade, not as the trader, but as the journaler. And so, in a sense, this way, they're gaining two experiences from one. One is the trader, one is the journaler. The journaler is always smarter because it's always after the fact. You always know more after something's happened than you know before something's happened. So they're responsible for looking or experiencing the trade from the trader's point of view and the journal's point of view. And that's what you see here. So you see that they are journaling. It's in Spanish, but they're telling you it's a 5-minute chart. This was the location. That's a symbol for our location, which is right. This is where they got into the trade. Here's the state, narrow state, elephant bar play, confirmation. Oh, so that's not where they got in. They got in here. Confirmation entry here. That's where they entered. Their risk. Look at how responsible they are. They're saying I can only lose 50 cents, which is $50, right? So because if it's a one lot, 50 cents is $50. So this kid who made $270 on this play was not willing to lose more than $50 on the play. And so that's how you become a master trader. His wins are 270 and up in that range, but his losses are less than 50 every single time. And so I love to see this mapping out what he's doing. One lot. He's telling you how he used the 8-period moving average as his adjusted stop method, and so forth and so on. This is beautiful. This is beautiful play. And looks like they get out of the full position here. There. And so entry, add, out, and stop out. $270. This little kid here. This is adult money, but we're talking minutes, guys, right? We're not talking all day. We're talking minutes here. All right. Here's another kid. $584. Look at the state. Look at how they know what they're doing, right? Narrow state. Boom. Elephant bar. What's the probability of fat green bar above a narrow state? It's up. All right. Coming out of, is it toma de beneficio? I love that. Boom. All right. Counting the pushes, push 1, push 2, push 3. Now earn the right to take a profit, to take a little taste. I just love to see this, guys. You have no idea how much I love this. These are little masters at work, marking the different stages of the trade. 1, 2. That's actually a little wrong, but that's okay. 3 and 4. This really should be 1, and this is 2, and this is 3. But still, look at where the trader gets out of the play, all the way over here. and gets into the play here. Very, very powerful. But it's not you can see, guys, that this is not guessing, right? They're not guessing. They're applying a specific method. This is you can see it in the actions that they know what they're buying. They know why they're buying. They know what the probabilities are, and they know I'm not going to lose more than this. Now, that's professional market activity. That's more than most of these idiot adults out there sloshing around losing their family's money in Facebook groups and stuff like that. It's powerful. Gotta love it. Gotta love it, guys. All right. Oh, I love this one. This trading kit is playing the wide state. So remember I told you, here's the narrow state, here's the wide state, and wide state comes back to narrow state, right? Again, so this stock opens wide. And look how he's marking the positions. So this is the symbol for wide that we have, right? So he's going to play this to the downside, takes a short there. He says he goes into 2 lots. So he's taking 200 shares short. Boom. I'm sure his stop is here. He's adding here. So he did 2, added 1 there. All right. Took profits here. And took profits, it looks like, here. Okay, I would have loved to see him take some profits down there, though. But great, guys. They're getting it. They're getting it. This is very high level market activity. Mapping out the stages of the play. Look at the narrow state they're playing. Beautiful. Playing the narrow state. Mapping out the stages of the play to know how mature the play is becoming. All right? Very, very powerful. Same thing here. Same takes the trade here. Looks like here. Takes the trade there. Adjusts protection stop here. Does he take any profits there? I see the profit taking here. But no, I would have liked to see some profit taking there. Maybe an ad there. But they're getting it. Juan Luis Gonzalez. His first great trade. I love it. It warms my heart, guys. It warms my heart. Beautiful. Same thing here, guys. Look at the narrow state. Look at how they're marking the box off. Fab 4 narrow state. Entry point here. Right off the narrow state. Mapping out the phases of the trade. 1, 2, 3. Target met. Profit taking. This is beautiful. Beautiful. Masterful trading. Boom. Protection. Gotta love it. Taking profits up here, grabbing this whole run there. Beautiful. Also showing here where they bought and where they sold. And so if you look at the times here, guys, this took 10 minutes. 10 minutes, hundreds of dollars done. For a kid, that's crazy. Amazing. This, if you have kids in your life, a niece, nephew, cousins, whatever, your own kids, and they're between the ages of 10 and 15, I'm telling you, you should give them the gift of independence. This is the gift of independence. Very, very powerful, guys. Very powerful. Now, I want to explain to you what the program is. All right? It is a 1-year program. They will have access to all the materials that's needed. The ages are between 8 and 15. It's available in Spanish and English. All right? 1 full year of training, guys. Right? 1 group session with me every 6 months. But it's 1 full year of training, which with all the materials necessary. 2 monthly live sessions with the director, Andres Tolosa. I handpicked the director for this. Access to the trading platform for 2 months. 1 year of personalized accompaniment and weekly analysis review of the trades. It's very important to have their trades reviewed to ensure that they are progressing. All right? They'll have access to the private Trading Kids community and the possibility of me funding them even during their childhood years. I can fund them and they get a payout as well, even as a child. So very, very powerful. All right. Now, this is the normal price, guys. It's $1,200. I do this once a year. I'm offering a very deep discount on the price, $597, guys, for an entire year. Think about this. All right. All the things I just mentioned, videos on demand, 1 year of training, 1 group session with me every 6 months, 2 monthly live sessions with Andre Tolosa, access to the trading platform for 2 months. That's where they're gonna do their trades. 1 year personalized attention and accompaniment, reviewing of all of their trades, access to the private community, and the possibility of being financed if they progressed far enough. All right. Now, until June 10th, guys, I'm going to do something special. Not only have I dropped the price from $1,500 to just under $600 to make it very easy for the vast majority of you to just give this gift to your children. But I'm also going to throw in 3 study sessions with me. So this is going to be like my personal mentorship over 3 study sessions with them. So I'm going to give them 3 study sessions. That's a $300 value, but you got to enroll your kid in before June 10th, okay? Or by June 10th. Now, for those of you, I always do this because I like to find out who can take opportunity right now when they know they have an opportunity, and I like to reward that. So if anyone is really sure that they want their children or any kid in their life to be a part of the program and that you know it now, if you enrolled in the next 30 minutes, all right, you're going to get something really special. Check this out. I'm going to give you, you're going to get the full year program. That's this. I'm going to give you the 3 study sessions with me. Oh, that's terrible. The 3 study sessions with me. I am also going to include an individual family, mom, dad, child session, all right, which is important. I like those sessions because it ties everybody together, all right? And I'm going to throw in the 3 days of live trading. It's like a master trader trading camp, a 3-day trading camp, which includes live trading, right? That's a $700 value, right? Same cost, guys, just your benefits are much higher if you know you want to do this now. All right? Enroll in the next 30 minutes, and all of this is available to you, your family, and your trading kid. Very, very powerful. All right, tradingkids.com is where you go. This is Andre Tolosa. I handpicked him 5 years ago, all right, to do this with me. We launched it in 2018. Is that 5 years ago? Yeah, for a little bit more, maybe a little bit more. All right. You can reach out to Andres Tolosa if you like. And make sure, people, that you are dealing with only the people on this list. If there's anybody else with a different number, a different email, don't trust it. I'm telling you. All right. This is who you should be dealing with. Okay. So take a snapshot of this or come back to this in the presentation and just make sure that the number matches, the email matches, the person's name matches. All right. So I don't want you getting taken by anything like that. So there you go, guys. Quick 30-minute bonus. Do it. Give your kids the gift of freedom, independence. At least put them on that path. The worst thing that is going to happen is that they're going to learn how to handle themselves. They're going to learn something about the financial markets, which a lot of people don't have. They're going to learn how to handle themselves in the markets. All right? They're going to learn how markets behave, how markets operate. This is something that all of our kids should have, right? They're going to become more disciplined. They're going to become more independent. They're going to learn how to deal with loss. They're going to learn how and when to take the gains and taste profits along the way. They're going to become more responsible little human beings. That's the worst thing that can happen. The very best thing that can happen is that they have a skill, an ability that will pay dividends for the rest of their entire lives and will make them one of the most independent, financially free people on planet Earth. All right? Do it. Get them in there, guys. I want to thank you all for taking your time. I know you can be doing a lot of other things here today, but you're here with me. It's something that I don't take for granted, so I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to a number of you becoming part of the family. All right, and I'm looking forward to taking this journey with some of your precious little ones. All right, guys. Ciao for now. Boom. Boom. Got a little dark here, I see. All right.